Daniel Sports Center will be giving you guys our ACC Tournament predictions for this 2023-24 season. It is conference tournament week, and today we'll be talking about the ACC Tournament, predicting the bracket top to bottom, and giving you guys a quick look as to what you can expect in this year's ACC Tournament. So with that, let's get started with the first round. We got Notre Dame and Georgia Tech. This is your 12-13 matchup here. We actually saw Notre Dame sweep Georgia Tech in the regular season, beat them twice. But Georgia Tech has been better down the stretch. They won 3 of their last 4. Notre Dame has lost 2 straight heading into the postseason. And overall, I would say Notre Dame's maybe the slightly better team here, but I think Georgia Tech does knock off Notre Dame. I know they got swept in the regular season, but something you got to remember is it's pretty tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. That is in most cases. So I'm taking Georgia Tech there. Then you got NC State and Louisville. Here's the thing about Louisville. This team has lost 7 straight heading into the postseason. They have not won a road game this entire season. So for Louisville, being 3-17 in conference, 8-23, they're just not a good team. NC State hasn't been great down the stretch either. They've lost 4 straight, but I'm definitely giving NC State the edge here, given the fact Louisville has not won a single road game this season. Then you got Boston College and Miami. Now, Boston College is an interesting team. They won 2 straight to finish out the regular season. They swept Miami in the regular season. And, I mean, I know it's tough to beat a team 3 times in one season, but I do want to take Boston College here. I think Miami, I mean, you consider they've lost 9 straight heading into the postseason. This team is it seems like they're a dead team right now, and I just don't have much confidence that they can win a game at this point, given the fact they haven't won a game in forever. So giving Boston College the edge here, moving on into the second round. So then you got Virginia Tech and Florida State, 8-9 matchup here. This one's pretty even. We saw these 2 teams split the series in the regular season. Virginia Tech's been better later on as they've won 3 straight. Florida State's lost 2 of their last 3. I do want to take Virginia Tech here. I feel like, I mean, this is really a game that could go either way. I actually picked Florida State initially, but I did switch to Virginia Tech just because this team has a tendency to be pretty sneaky in the ACC tournament. They've had some success in recent times, so that's something to keep an eye on. And this is as close of a matchup as it is, that gave the Hokies a slight edge for me. And then Georgia Tech, Wake Forest. Do want to take Wake Forest here. They've lost 3 of their last 4. Hunter Salas has had a great year, 18 points a game. We saw these 2 teams split the series in the regular season. I think Wake Forest puts an end to Georgia Tech's season in the second round. Then you got NC State and Syracuse. NC State hasn't been very good later on in this season. I think they beat Louisville, but they're not going to get further. Syracuse has actually been pretty good later on, won 4 of their last 5. You got Judah Mintz, who's had a really great year, 19 points a game. And I think Syracuse proceeds on after beating NC State. Then Boston College and Clemson. I feel like, there's always that one team in most conference tournaments that kind of makes a sneaky run. I think it's Boston College in the ACC tournament. This team is, they're nothing too special, but I feel like that based on the way this team has played in recent time, they got some decent momentum heading into the postseason. I do think Boston College can make a run here, and I think that they proceed on to the quarterfinals. So then you got Virginia Tech and North Carolina. Tar Heels are the top seed, won 6 straight. RJ Davis, 21 a game. I'm taking North Carolina here. They're just too good of a team, and I don't see them being upset in the quarterfinals. Then you got Wake Forest and Pitt. This one's very much a coin toss for me. I know Wake Forest, you got South, who's been incredible. We saw these 2 teams split this series in the regular season as well. I feel like if Wake Forest, though, if they can beat whoever they play in the second round, they could pick up some good momentum and really make a run for the ACC. But I do think Pitt finds a way onto the semis here, although this is one that I really went back and forth on. Pitt's got some strong momentum themselves heading into the postseason, having won 3 straight. Then you got Syracuse and Duke. This is a really interesting one here. I feel like, Syracuse obviously has been really good down the stretch, but Duke is just the better team here. I do think that they proceed on. They've also been a team that's had a lot of success in recent time in the ACC tournament. Obviously, the defending champs, as they did win it last season. So I'm taking them to move on. Then Boston College and Virginia. Virginia is also just the better team here, so I do want to take them and put an end to Boston College's run. I feel like, once again, it makes sense for an unlikely team to make a run in most conference tournaments, so I think it's Boston College, but I just don't think that they can win 3 straight games, especially when it only gets tougher as you go. So taking UVA there, and that sets up your top 4 seeds in the semifinals. I wouldn't be surprised if Wake Forest was in the semis, but I feel like North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia definitely all should be in the semifinals at least. But North Carolina, Pitt, this is a really interesting one. You got Tar Heels, who've had a really strong season, obviously. They're definitely a national contender. Beat Pitt in the regular season, and I think that they do. Once again, in the ACC tournament, they proceed on. Then Duke and Virginia. We saw Duke beat Virginia in the regular season, and it wasn't really that close. They really took care of them, no problem. Virginia being a team that's not as explosive on offense. It's just the defense, and they slow you down, and that's the way that Virginia wins. And Duke took advantage of that in the regular season. I think that they do it again. So we got a 1-2 championship matchup for the ACC tournament. And, of course, it's going to be North Carolina and Duke, an incredible rivalry. And in the end, we did see North Carolina sweep Duke in the regular season, and we saw North Carolina have a big win later on, really not too long ago. But I do think for the ACC title, we see Duke go back-to-back. They beat North Carolina for the ACC tournament title. And really, once you get to the title game, the seeds really don't matter too much. It really is a toss-up from there for the tournament title. And in the end, I think Duke beats North Carolina at least once this season. But with that, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the ACC tournament, your champion predictions, and all of that. I appreciate you guys watching as always. My name's Evan. This is All Sports Central. Stay tuned for more. We'll catch you on the next one.